Welcome grade 10s. Today we are looking at lesson 2 of the tourism. It is week 12's work and I hope you have your slides next to you as you follow with me through this lesson. Today we are looking at types of maps, and if we look at general things that a map will have, we can see that it will always have a title. So if you look at the title on this map, we can see the title gives us information about the map. So in this case, it tells us that it is a map of South Africa. Another thing that you can notice on a map is a scale. So over there we have our scale for this specific map. So the first type of map we are looking at here is called a general reference map. General reference map. Now this map is useful because it gives us a general idea of where a place can be found. So if we want to know where is the Northern Cape, we can easily see on this general reference map that it's right over there. If you want to see maybe a town such as Beaufort West, then we can see it is right over there. And that is the exact reason why general reference maps are valuable for tourism specifically. It gives the tourist a general idea of where a country or place or province can be located. It gives us general information like noted in the notes. Okay. So see if you can locate, for example, Swaziland. Okay, let's move on to the next type of map. The next type of map you are looking at over here is called a road map. So a road map is very useful because it shows us the roads that connect towns and cities. It also sometimes, not on all maps, but on some maps it can indicate the distance between towns and cities. So if we look at the orange lines that you can see on this map, you can see there's the N1 heading towards Joburg, and we all know that the N1 goes all the way down to Cape Town. It is obviously a very long drive, and where you would find out how long it will take you to get there is what we're going to work with later, called an electronic map, such as Google Earth or Google Street View or Google Street Maps. Okay, so this is called a road map. It shows us the national roads inside of a country. So these are South Africa's national roads. And these are very valuable for tourism. It shows us which roads connect cities and towns, and it's important to work out the distance between two places when you are traveling. The next type of map we are looking at is called a street map. So a street map is obviously self-explanatory. So we can see a bunch of streets here. There we have Breer Street, there we have Loop Street, Long Street, Berg Street, and so on. So this is called a street map, and this is the type of map you will use as a tourist when you are in a town and you are trying to get to, for example, a shopping center. So say we are staying in a guest house over here in Loop Street, and we want to go to ShopRite, which is right over there. We can use the street map to see how we are supposed to get there, whichever route you choose to take to get there. Okay, so that is why a street map is useful to us. The next type of map over here is called a political map. Okay, a political map is very useful for tourists because they can plan their routes when they are planning to cross borders. So obviously, we're in South Africa down here, and say we need to cross a border into Botswana. Then we can see, okay, the border is more or less there. I'm sure if you have a zoomed in version, you can get a better idea of where the border is. So it can be very useful for tourists who travel to another region. Do you guys remember that? A regional tourist, they travel to our neighboring countries. Okay, next up over here, we have something called a physical map. Okay, and our physical map shows natural and man-made features of an area. So in this case, we can see some rivers. The very thin blue lines indicates the rivers. You can see mountains, like for example, yeah, you can see there's like a rocky area. That would be a mountain. There's a big river running down here. Okay, and so on. So we can see a lot of natural features on this kind of map. So why it's important for tourism is tourists can tell the height above sea level on these kind of maps, and they can tell the climate of the region, so they know what to pack for a trip. So some maps are more detailed than others. Here all the blue water is more or less the same color, but sometimes some parts of the water will appear darker, meaning that it is deeper water that you are going into. Okay. Then a few maps that I couldn't find specific pictures for is a specialist map. Now a specialist map, this is used for a specific area where you can note things like airports, where there's some shops, and so on. Then we get tourist information maps. These maps show features such as national parks or World Heritage sites or shops in that immediate area. And then the last one is a tourist attraction map. So a tourist attraction map is, for example, the Kruger National Park setting up a map for their park specifically. And then on that map you will be able to see symbols of where there's a resting area, where there's bathrooms, where there's a shop, where there's a cafe. So it contains specific information about a specific attraction. Alright, just before we wrap up maps, we can't leave out one of the most important maps or type of maps that we can look at, and that is called electronic maps. Electronic maps you can access from your phone, from a computer, from an iPad, things like a GPS you can use, and that is the first one we are going to look at. This first picture you are looking at is called GPS. Okay, GPS helps us to locate a specific place and it will take us there. Okay, so it's called a global positioning system. Okay, the next one is Google Earth. Okay, Google Earth helps us to, it is an internet map that shows you the satellite image of anything on the Earth. Okay, so our next one is called Google Street View. This is what the app would look like on the App Store. And then we get Google Street Maps. Made a slide. Google Street Maps. Okay. And then we get interactive maps, which is the kind of map that you can access online, and you can type in a search bar, find me a shop, and it will find you a shop, for example. And these are just some of the maps that we work with often. There's also something that you need to know about, which is called ICT. And what an ICT is, it's an information communication technology. And all the communication devices that provide information and help with communication can be found on this information communication technology. So stuff like your GPS, your Google Earth, your Google Street Maps, your Google Street View, and your interactive maps will all fall under information communication technology. It is technology that is used to put together all the electronic maps that we just looked at. Alright, please comment below if you have any further questions, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you.